We are live! Or are we live now? No, we've been live for 3 seconds.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another Wednesday of the week. It's your favorite hosts, Rowena and Felicia. Oh, what a cute bracelet you have. Oh, what is this arm candy with this new watch you have?
And I'm trying an Apple Watch. But we'll see. I have mixed feelings right now.
Oh, really?
But anyway.
Okay.
Let's do a quick intro.
Okay,
and then we can banter.
Yeah, as you guys are coming on, thank you for joining us. We're trying out more lives because we're still in the process of planning content, but also want to see how much more we can do.
We're still catching up on the ear.
Yes.
The year.
Yes.
Anyone feel the same way?
Thumbs up. But for today, we thought because we don't get to share a lot about, I guess, the inner workings of what we learned through our skin through the years, from teenagers to early adulthood to almost adult, not mature adult, nearing already at 30. Yeah. And because a lot of you guys are going through, I guess, similar situations, we will just kind of be here to discuss, and you guys can ask all the questions you want about things you're potentially going through, and maybe things that we went through that can help.
So if you guys are new or momentarily forgot, Fel has oily, acne-prone skin, and she's been living, I was going to say battling. I don't think it's, we should use nice words.
Yes.
She's been living with acne ever since she was a wee little teenager.
Mm-hmm.
And Rowena has had eczema since I was really young too. And recently it's really bad. My neck
flared up again.
It every other day, no matter if it's something I eat, if it's something I put on, it'll just flare out. So,
but that's the cool thing, because these kind of skin concerns started when we were really young, and we still go through it. Ro is still going through her eczema, which flares up. Oh my God.
That was so intense. You lost your train of thought.
Hey,
I grew up with eczema. It's something I'm still going through. Fel grew up with acne.
Yes.
It's something she's still
Look
going
at it. I'm clearly still going through it, because recently my sister came to visit New York and she stayed with me for a month, and we ate out every single day. Oh wait, I haven't opened it. Ready? Everyone, get your beverages.
Get your beverage. Today we're trying Poppi.
Not sponsored. Ro just brought it in.
This is the strawberry lemon, and Fel has the grapefruit because she loves
grapefruit. Ready? Ding! This one's pretty good.
It's those Sprite commercials.
The OG, early 2000s Britney and Beyonce's.
When they're babies. Before they were free.
They're so sparkling. Oh my God. Okay, so hello everyone joining. We see some of you guys are from Indonesia.
From the UK, from India.
Yes.
Or Gao India.
What is it?
Canada.
Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. Okay, so Angie says, hey girlies, how are you feeling? Happy belated Valentine's Day. You too, everyone, regardless of whether you have a significant other or not. Alexis, I have eczema too. I just got some new lotion. It seems to help. Yeah, so that's what we kind of want to talk about. Oh my God, Switzerland, Brunei. Oh my God, you guys are from everywhere.
Hello. A fellow Californian. Hi, Angie.
Okay, so I guess as we're gonna talk through some thoughts, I'm gonna actually just clean my face, because this morning I didn't have time to clean my face, so I thought while we do it,
why not?
And then Ro can lead the convo.
Yeah, if you guys have any questions about eczema, I think we've talked about this on the channel before. The sucky thing is that something like eczema, I remember going to see many dermatologists in my youth, and especially a bit in my adolescence and when I was in my 20s. And what the dermatologists will always say is, by the time you're an adult, or you're in your mid to late 20s, eczema should have gone away by this time. If not, the only thing you can, like legit, the only thing you can do is learn how to live harmoniously with it. Because it should have been something that came and went. But
yeah, I used to have eczema here and it just goes away as a kid.
I just remember living as an eczema-free kid up until maybe the age of 6. And then one day after I grew up in California, we would, swim a lot over the summers. One summer, it just like flared. Like I just couldn't stop scratching. And it would like get to the point where it like scabs. Like it pusses and then it scabs over, and then like it's literally scaly. All my joints. I forgot there's like a specific term for it. All my joints, like my armpits, like behind my kneecaps,
the crevices,
all the this parts. It was like bad. Now I think sometimes, I don't know if you guys can see, but I have a lot of freckles on my elbow or like this area, just because it's like I scratch it a lot, so I think the skin might be a bit more
coarse.
Or like it's thinner, maybe, so that it freckles a lot easier compared to like the rest of my arm.
I've never seen someone with freckles on their elbow pits.
I don't know if you guys can see.
Because it's like no one goes around like this, tanning.
You just
like
walk
this.
around and like it happens. So if I do have it now, it's either here or my neck. Sometimes there's like a specific spot here. But that's kind of what I've been going through. And what I have found to help the most, actually, Phil will talk about this when we talk about acne, but I really do find that lifestyle helps immensely, be it like what you eat, your stress level, sleeping enough. All of that I think really does help. And if you guys have any tips, also let us know, because I feel like I know that specific foods will inflame my eczema.
Oh my God, yeah.
Just the same with specific foods will inflame acne or like breakouts, right? And I feel like you guys are like, okay, Rowena, like we know, like lifestyle, yes, but like it's already inflamed. What do I do?
Yeah.
One thing that I have found that actually works really, really well. Actually, this is a friend came up to me. One of our coworkers in our office were like in the break room. She's like, Ro, have you done anything about your neck? Or like your neck looks a bit red. Have you done anything about it? I was like, no, like I don't know what's happening. And I was just gonna leave. And she's like, oh, may I suggest Vaseline? And I was like, whoa, okay. She's like, yeah, I had the same, like her neck also broke out in like eczema, scaly, itchy patches. And then she used Vaseline every night before going to bed. And then it does help, or like every night and every morning when she wakes up. And it does help.
That sounds
so I've been
intense.
trying that, which it has been helping. But I think for me, it's still lifestyle. Like that helps, but then it's like a Band-Aid. Something else that has been helping, if you guys know Krave Beauty's Great Barrier Relief, the tamanu oil is known to help with eczema. I feel like because I knew that it should help with eczema, and the fact that it didn't cure it right away, in my mind was like, oh, it didn't work as well. But I think it's because the serum itself, and Krave just came out with a new body moisturizer, like Great Body Relief. So I've actually been using that under the Vaseline. So I think it's the same thing as if you have dry skin and you need to, like make sure all the serums and the toners you're putting on your face is being sealed properly. Yeah. Thing is, it's exactly the same. So I put on the Great Body Relief on my neck, just maybe like a dime's worth. It's kind of a lot, but like I just want to make sure everything's covered. And now I'll let it sit for maybe 30 seconds.
The serum?
The body lotion.
Oh, the body lotion.
Yeah, or whatever lotion is, right? It can even be Aveeno's body lotion because there is colloidal oatmeal in there. And then you just seal it with Vaseline.
That is,
I feel like Vaseline's having a comeback.
Oh my God. All the OG kind of old school ingredients like ceramides, Vaseline. Yeah. I think nothing beats the way Vaseline can trap moisture, because it's like, it's so occlusive.
It is. So that's been helping. And I read a comment a bit earlier about how, you don't want to use steroids to help treat eczema. I really didn't want to use it either. I think because my mom didn't want me to be dependent on something like that when I was growing up. But then when I did get to college, sometimes I would use like the 1% hydro. I forgot what it's called. It's like 1% something. It's probably some sort of steroid where you can just get over the counter from CVS.
For eczema?
Yeah.
Oh.
Let me actually Google. You take the reign for a second.
Okay. No, I was just gonna say, like, feel free to throw in the questions that you guys have as well, or if you also go through eczema, dryness, whatever irritation. Because is it hydrocortisone?
Yes.
There
that.
you go.
There we go.
Thanks, Kelly and Becca
Thanks,
and
guys.
Alili.
Let me try to see the actual one I would used to get. It would help.
So is that like a what is it?
I don't know. I honestly don't know, but I think it's like it's like, I don't know, what does steroid do? Steroid just kind of blasts everything.
I guess it's kind of like the same as the equivalent to acne is like Accutane and all that stuff.
Maybe.
It like
I don't think it's as
basically-
intense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a synthetic way to normalize internally.
So I've also tried my fair share of eczema creams, and I've heard a lot of friends try a bunch of eczema products, even like the eczema honey and all of that, and it doesn't really, I mean, I think it's all worth trying, but I think getting to where I am now at 30, I've tried so many things. I'm just like, shower, and then after you shower, put on lotion, like moisturize to make sure you're like keeping all of that moisture in. And then, just.
So Becca says, I think the steroids work by binding to receptors to reduce inflammation, which is why you can rebound after you stop using steroid creams. You know, like the funny thing about both eczema and acne, they're actually very similar because it's like both internally stemming and there's like no cure for it on the outside. And so like going roundabout, like through the years of trying all these different creams and like them being really thick and really, I don't know, occlusive or whatever, nothing really takes it away unless you get to the root of it, which is like a lifelong lesson.
Yeah. And Fel has cotton pads. They're
Guys,
it's this.
My face is so dry lately. It's so dry. It's like not the same as how I used to be when I was younger. But you know what I realized? It's because after doing research, it's like when you change your lifestyle, it changes the way the hormones produce oil on your face. And so I regulated my oil production.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Like because it was like the insulin levels, the hormone levels, the testosterone. So testosterone has to do with oil secretion. And when I kind of like changed that, remember how I was like, my skin is so not oily anymore? It's because it was like nutrition and food and rebalancing the hormones from the inside. Yeah.
Wow.
It's crazy. So once again, it all starts from the inside. Okay. So question, how did you get past the mental burden of like the eczema?
How did I get past the mental burden?
As a young squirt.
I didn't really. I mean, I just learned to not care too much about it because there wasn't much that I can do about it. But it was like, I think it was always one of those things I was slightly insecure about, but it wasn't enough for me to stop living my life. Because especially, again, growing up in California and in our like, when we didn't know better, we are in the sun all the time. So I'm like, I was really dark. And then because of eczema, I'd get like white patches all over my arms. I actually have photos I've shown in older videos. And that did make me a bit insecure. But at the same time, I was just like, meh.
That's true.
It's okay. Yeah.
You know, I think like we were actually somehow kind of blessed in the way that we kind
like
of
our
didn't
brains
care.
work. Yeah.
Because I think what's most torturous when you have these concerns is that it like weighs on your mind and you don't feel like you can go make friends, you can't do anything, you can't step outside. And I think like, you know, the severity of it obviously like impacts that. If you have like a whole face of eczema or you have a whole face of acne, like it can really be detrimental to like your confidence growing up, which then like catapults and snowballs into your adulthood and you never really gain true confidence, you know? But yeah, I was like thinking, why didn't I feel that insecure about acne? Although it was like a normal like level of insecurity, but nothing like it tainted me. But then I was like, it was because I never wanted to be friends with people who I didn't feel comfortable with.
Yeah.
You know, like some people want to be friends with people because, you know, when you're a teenager, you want to be accepted, you want to be cool. But actually, I didn't want to be friends with anyone that gave me this feeling of like I had to try.
Yeah.
So,
or it's like they're judging you because you have pimples or
Yeah.
acne on your face. Yeah.
So like growing up, it was just like a very small knit group of friends, which then actually makes me think it's not actually obviously the skin concern will kind of follow you until you deal with it in terms of a lifestyle way, but it's more to do with like who you choose into your life that can determine how you grow as an adult and like how you kind of form this relationship with yourself growing up. Yeah.
Okay. No, you just had a little dollop on your nose.
Oh. Skin is so dry. Yes.
I believe no guy would date me because of my acne. Will go on a date with me because of my acne.
No, but you know, that's the thing. Like, we are so much more than just what we look like, right? Like, people can learn to know you. Obviously, like the way we look at someone, the perception and what we see is the first thing that we kind of accept. But like, if you flip it the other way, you don't want to be with someone who judges you on how you look. And I know that's hard because when you're younger, you just want to be accepted. But like, it's that feeling you have, you know, like.
And I think a lot of times we'd be surprised too, because I feel like not just acne, right? Just like insecurities in general, whatever we may be insecure with ourselves, we tend to think other people think that way about us too.
Yeah.
When I think most people are just looking at you or like looking at us being like, you're beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are truly our worst enemies, especially when we're young. It's really hard.
Yeah. I guess for anti-inflammatory foods
Ooh.
that have helped with
both
eczema, eczema and acne. I I feel like honestly, it's
the
very
same
similar.
thing, guys. Because what is eczema? It's inflammation. What is acne? It's inflammation, and like 70% of it starts from the gut. It's all like gut health. And I know when you're young, no one wants to hear this because it's like, what is gut health?
I
like,
remember going to the like traditional Chinese doctors. This is when I lived in Taiwan and my mom, took me to get checked out because of my eczema. And he's like, you can't eat tomatoes, so no more pasta and pizza. I was like, heck no!
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna eat my pastas.
Yeah.
It was like my favorite food when I was younger. Yeah. So when you're a kid, you obviously don't want to listen. But as Paula was saying,
it's so interesting. Like the gut, because like for acne, the foods that you eat affect the way that blood sugars and insulin travel through your blood and the way that different hormones are produced, which is why, if you have hormonal imbalance and you have cystic acne, it goes back to nutrition. So like fiber rich foods help with the liver, and the liver is the thing that helps you like create different hormones like estrogen to kind of rebalance maybe the testosterone that you have that's exceeded the norm, which is why, you don't have your periods and you have acne. So yeah, it really is the food. Oh my God, I used to eat so bad. We all know this. But it's a relationship with food that also took time, because we shouldn't just go to the extreme and cut everything out, I feel like. But when you're young, you feel like that's the only choice.
Yeah.
It's like black and white when you're young.
Yeah. So what are some diet changes that you've made that has helped with inflammation? Can you paint a picture for us, a beautiful portrait for us of what your diet was like when we lived together, before we lived together?
Like, long story short, my diet was just very carb heavy. And now it's like understanding how simple carbs produce blood sugar, which gives us energy, and the blood sugars convert to insulin. And I realized, so it was like coupling many things together.
What kind of carbs? Like pastas,
simple carbs,
breads,
white
sugar.
bread,
just to give examples.
Yeah, the things that so it's like, I don't know, it's very interesting to me, but like when you eat these simple carbs, because they're simple and complex, right? Complex carbs take the body a bit longer to digest.
Like
so
whole
things
grains.
like whole grains, sweet potatoes, and they still get converted into sugars, but it doesn't spike your insulin and it doesn't spike your blood sugar. So like coupling that with my like my period not coming. It's like these two and two, I needed to kind of build a bridge to realize what was happening. And it wasn't coming because I wasn't producing the right hormones and I was just eating too many simple carbs that wasn't offset by vegetables. I didn't have enough fiber. Yes. So apart from, people saying like eat more fiber, blah, 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 because, you'll be able to poopsies and all this stuff. Actually, it was so much more than that because it was just like a complete imbalance. And if you really think about hormonal imbalance, it's nutritional imbalance. So yeah, for the last like 3 years, my period has come, but it wasn't like that for the last like 15 years. So yeah, it was that. And then I realized if you're interested in hormonal acne, there's this Alyssa Vitti. Another thing I realized was I think my body it doesn't have this specific enzyme that can process caffeine the way that normal people do. There's a specific enzyme in everyone's body that is different for everyone. And some people just can't take as much. And then at the time, I was also drinking a lot of coffee.
Yeah. Dude, like, this girl would boil
coffee.
A little mocha pot espresso shot at like 11 p.m. before bed.
Yeah.
I'm like, who are you?
Yeah. So it was a bunch of like many little lifestyle changes that I had to recorrect all at once. So it wasn't completely taking out carbs. It was reducing how much I had, adding in vegetables, reducing the coffee. I never really had that many sugars. Like I feel like you have more of a sweet tooth than I do. Yeah. So sugars weren't that much of a thing. But like the moral of the story is that you have to find out what is triggering you. Yeah. So those 3 things were triggering me.
Oh yeah, I think the most important takeaway is that we're all unique and different. Just like how Fel doesn't have an enzyme and I have the enzyme for the caffeine. Our bodies are all very unique. So I think what inflames me would be different from yours, but it's that journey that we go on. For example, I think by the time of where I am in my life right now, I know that fried foods will make me inflamed right away. Spicy foods, like as soon as it touches my lip, I just start feeling like it's getting hot.
Yeah, she'll like nosebleed.
My nose bleeds very, very easily. Yeah. Like if I eat a fried chicken, sometimes if I eat a burger, it's like instant nosebleed. So I think because of lived experience and just being mindful and observant of what you're consuming and how it affects your body, I think the more you pay attention to it, the more you'll be like, oh, okay, so it's usually when I like, oh, okay, so I decided, random example, I decided to eat a cupcake and like my skin broke out for the next 5 days, right? Then they're like, okay, maybe that could be a thing. And then you try it again in a few months or like next week. And then it happens again. It's like, okay, so maybe it is the cupcake or it is this thing that I'm doing that's kind of contributing to this inflammation or like this breakout.
Yeah.
So just being mindful of that. And for those asking for exact products to help with eczema, I don't know, because I feel like something that could work for some people may not work for others. And what has worked for me is just Aveeno, like the standard daily moisturizing lotion that I put on every day after I shower. And then, as I mentioned, like the beginning of the live, Vaseline, as of the past month, has helped me with this inflammation.
And oat stuff.
And oats, yeah, anything with colloidal oatmeal. And then Krave Great Barrier Relief Serum, as well as their new product that just launched today, the Great Body Relief. That also has tamanu. I don't think as much as the serum, but then there is still tamanu oil in there that should help with any sorts of inflammation. But yeah, that's kind of what I've worked out. Yeah, it's not fail-proof. I think diet and lifestyle is much more reliable than products.
Yeah. I always feel like the topicals for things like acne and eczema is the same, where it can really only help you with these concerns that are so intense, like 15%. It just kind of like is a Band-Aid that will kind of push the symptoms of it and heal it a little bit before it just decides to flare up again, right? Which is why it's so annoying. And I think like thinking back, it really came to the mindset of it. You know, when like you're younger and then you realize like, oh, my nose is bleeding because I ate this, or like, oh, I have a new pimple. But like, if you ask yourself, do you really want to change this about yourself, or do you really want to know? Because I think like it takes a while to be like, yes, I'm willing to go through and patiently understand what my body is actually trying to tell me, and not just kind of like try to look for this product and that product to kind of it keeps you in this loop. So it's like really being in tune with yourself and like your inner thoughts that actually make the huge first step.
And I think both can go at the same time, right? Because right now it's like learning how to manage what's existing, but then also learning how to prevent it from happening or like to not happen as intensely as now maybe. And
Milk tea, called out for what? Oh, okay.
yeah. So I think in general, just like to wrap up the diet section, I feel like it's things that we've all heard. More fruits and veggies for fiber. I think anything green, like greens are great. Greens are amazing.
You know what I recently learned? So let's say, I don't know about like eczema, but I'm sure this kind of helps with it too. So if you do love your carbs, right? Your pastas, your breads, your whatever, it's fine to have, but you want to couple it with omega-3 fatty acids because that will slow down the way that your body processes and produces sugar. So it's like, 2, it makes you feel fuller for longer. It helps your body deal with the spike in sugar, which is, helping you with inflammation. So it's just like better in general.
Yeah.
So for example, if you have like a white piece of toast, add it with like an avocado.
Yeah.
Or if you have smoothies, add some nuts in there.
Yeah.
Have some flax seeds,
chia seeds.
Yeah. And implement that. Because
honestly,
it will help.
Balanced diet. You can't just do all greens and veggies, right? Rowena tried that in her youth. It does not work. Your body needs what it needs. Healthy fats, carbs, whole grains, vegetables, fruits, like balanced diet. Like honestly, that helps. And then also don't like be so caught up in this diet that you don't live. Have your burger, have your fried chicken.
Have your sugar cookie.
Yeah, have your sugar if you need. Just holistically being mindful of all of that.
Okay, guys. I haven't been really looking. I'm like looking at the screen of all the comments, but it's like nothing is processing.
If you guys have any, if you want to look at product recommendations, a lot of people are leaving a lot of great recommendations. So check those out. Okay, there's a question from Missy talking about sugar. Talk about sugar scrubs. Do they work or make things worse for lips?
Sugar scrubs.
Sugar scrubs. Do you want to answer that? You can go. I think it's different for different skin types.
Okay,
or
so
lip types.
She has dry
lip
lips.
climates.
Yes. Sugar scrubs, I feel like it's only rare that my lips get really flaky or really dry. So I feel like lip scrubs are just annoying for me because they go everywhere. So personally, I would rather just like a lip balm that's super hydrating. And I don't feel like you should ever need to spend that much on a lip scrub too, because you can make it yourself. Literally just get some Vaseline and mix some sugar in there and you got yourself like a fresh lip scrub. So for me, I think they're more gimmicky because what I used to do when I was really into makeup, and I learned this tip, like it was in a magazine, back in the day. If you have a soft toothbrush that you're not using for your teeth, but you wet it and then you lightly kind of like circle it over your lips and it just lightly brushes away that top layer.
Oh yeah, I actually do that sometimes with my toothbrush. If my lip is so dry, I'll just, after I brush my teeth, I'll just like brush my lips real quick and it'll come off.
Yeah, and it does the same thing. It's just like light physical exfoliation, right? So just don't spend that much money on lip scrubs.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. We're in the business of hydration and nourishment.
Any other questions, friends? Any at all?
My go-to breakfast right now is granola with peanut butter and mixed berries.
That sounds so good.
That sounds bomb. What's your go-to breakfast?
My go-to breakfast, I haven't been consistently eating, like, I don't have like a go-to recipe. It's either like a piece of toast with butter or like a quarter of a bagel with some cream cheese. Sometimes I'll have leftover miso soup. It's like sometimes it's a matcha latte. It's all over the place.
Yes. I don't think our breakfast routine is very like thingy.
Not very solid, but we're working on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, someone asked you a bit earlier, what are your thoughts on different gel?
Oh, different gel I love. And I think there was another person asking about Accutane.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. So like, okay, guys, I truly understand, wanting to go on the pill, taking Accutane when your acne is really bad, especially if it's cystic. But all that, I think like it's a great starting point just to like rebuild your confidence, because if you've never had clear skin, then you just want the quickest fix. And that's what Accutane can do, but it will severely dry out your skin to the point where like your lips will be as dry as yours if you didn't like moisturize. But what they are essentially synthetic hormones, right? Because it's helping to regulate yourself, therefore helping with the oil production in your pores and therefore not breaking out as much. But I've never went on it, but I was like highly encouraged to, and my sister is now on it because she also has acne. But the way that I kind of tell her is that you can go on it until you feel like, I want to work it. Once again, the mindset, I want to work this out naturally myself, because in the long run, this is the only thing that I can really do for myself, right? But it takes time to really want that. So I feel like it's fine to be on Accutane, the pill for acne. Just know that it's a synthetic fix, and if you ever decide to get off it, there will and most likely will be like repercussions on the face.
It's like the I
Yeah.
can't say that word for the eczema.
Oh, okay. Hydrocortisone, hydrocortisol. Yeah, but yeah, maybe by the time you come off it, you're in a different kind of place in your life. You feel a bit more confident to start again. And it's only temporary. Like, let me assure you that acne is temporary. And if you find, once again, the lifestyle triggers that are making you inflamed from the inside, you'll deal with it. You'll get past it.
Okay, we'll come back to acne. Let's put Deborah out of her misery. How do you get rid of blackheads in all caps? This is like Kanye screaming at us in his captions.
Okay, we see you.
We got you. For blackheads, it's actually something that I've been trying to figure out because I have a lot of filled sebaceous filaments in my nose. And I would say the Paula's Choice line, the dark gray line that Fel has been loving for years that I just started using this year, is amazing. The 2% BHA toning exfoliating toner is great. How I would use that, I would cleanse my face as normal. Maybe I might put on a more hydrating toner first. The toner itself is pretty good.
Yeah. It's very hydrating.
Yeah, I'll like put a bit on a cotton pad and then just, like wipe it all over my face, put on a moisturizer, like a very basic comforting moisturizer that's like very hydrating because my skin is super dry. Call it a night. Or they have so this is the first one we're talking about. It's about like this big.
Yes.
Technology.
Ding.
And then the second thing is the BHA 9%, which is more like this oil like serum.
It's like a spot treatment, and it's so good. Game changer.
Insane. So it's mostly used for spot treatment, but then I do put a bit on my fingers and I just kind of work it all over my nose.
Yes.
And then
because the thing is, this was like marketed as like for cystic acne, for breakouts, but when we were doing the interview with Paula's Choice, with her name, what's her name again? Desiree. She was saying what you can do with this is not just for acne, but it's for blackheads, because BHA is the only one that is oil soluble. And if you think about your pores and why blackheads and whiteheads come up, is because the pore is filled with oil, dirt, and then it's exposed to air, which then makes it black. And so BHA is able to get into the pore and really degunkify it. And that BHA 9 is the like highest of percentage without being irritating whatsoever. So it's honestly like magic in a bottle. I highly suggest anyone get it right now. It might seem a little bit expensive because it's like this little tube.
A little goes a long way. Dude. Guys, the first time I was like, when Fel showed it to me, I was like, wait, how much is this? And then what?
Yes.
But then when I started using it, I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Like,
it's really good.
It goes a long way. And I actually I shared this, I think last time already. I had a pimple incoming pimple. I felt it was like bubbling and brewing.
Yeah.
I put a little dab of it on overnight and it disappeared. It didn't even like, its head didn't even rear. It just like, and then it just went away. think this is a cute question.
Mm.
Not a cute question, but this is a nice question.
Okay, Zainab. I used to have a high school best friend called Zainab. Okay, anyway.
Aww.
How do you guys stay positive when nothing goes your way and you feel frustrated? That's a great question.
Story of our lives.
I think that's life in general.
Yeah.
Like, if you think about it, nothing goes your way. And you know, if you have like maybe one day is fine. If you have 2 straight days where you feel absolutely nothing bad has happened, I call BS. No, I'm just kidding. But it's like life itself is
Belle's voice just reverberated in my cranium.
It's truly, guys, have you thought of the last time you had like 2 to 3 straight days of just like eternal 3-day bliss or something? I don't think that's possible. Even if you stubbed your toe, that's like a test of the universe. But okay, so you go first.
How to stay positive. I think just keeping in mind that, I don't know,
I think this is such a layered question.
Yeah. I think like what truly helps me, like we're just gonna go from here to here right now, is I read this book called Man's Search for Meaning. It's about a older gentleman who lived through the concentration camp ages of like Auschwitz.
Like
he went
Germany?
like Germany, Germany, like Nazi Germany, all that, and he survived like multiple concentration camps. And I think he was already a psychologist. So while he was in there, after coming out, he's just constantly thinking about like, what is the meaning of life? Why do we exist? Why are we suffering so much? And one of his main thesis is, if you can find meaning in suffering, then you will, like, that is what it means to live a meaningful life, because it is through that. If you can find something worth suffering for, which is like to just live and to exist and to be the best that you can be, then like that in and of itself is worthwhile. So I feel like with that as the foundation, it's just, for me at least, it's so much easier to stay positive, because it's like I've been through, I think we've all gone through a lot in life, right? Loss, through anything, right? Like we've all gone through it a lot in life. And just, if I can handle everything that I've handled so far, and I'm still around and I'm still alive, and that the universe didn't like pluck me out of this, this existence yet, then I just want to be grateful that, like I can still do what I need to do, and I still have the chance and like the opportunity to.
When you said that, it reminded me.
We'll get back to all your questions, guys. We'll come back. Don't worry. Yes. We're looking at it.
When you said that, it reminded me of this like documentary movie that you can actually watch on Amazon. It's called Letters to Mazanja. And he was in a concentration camp, right? And he was saying, as long as I'm alive, why don't I just like keep going?
Yeah.
And it was like, because he found his purpose in life, his meaning in life, and therefore he was able to like withstand any of the like brutal suffering that was thrust upon him from like life, from authorities, from whoever it is. And like, honestly, it's such an interesting like journey that he went through, because they found like this toy that he was like in a concentration camp making Halloween
He's making
memorabilia,
Halloween decorations.
Yes.
Like, while being tortured.
Yes. And like while they were in these factory sweatshop type of things, in a concentration camp, one American who was doing her Halloween shopping just so happened to find one of the products that he made. And then there was a letter that he snuck into the decorations. Yeah, the decorations
that a woman in Oregon found.
Yes. And it follows her journey and his journey of how she found out, what she did, because the letter that he wrote like in his bed at night while the security guys would be like, going up and down the hallways was like the like a help me kind of.
It's like an SOS.
Yeah,
basically. Yeah.
Like they're forcing us to do this. Like this is
like this
illegal.
Product that you're just getting is made from this concentration camp overseas, and and then this is our living and working conditions. Yeah. Please help us.
So then she basically tracked down and somehow like found him. Anyway, if you're looking for like a new perspective on life, like I highly recommend you guys watch that. It's on Amazon Prime. But what you were saying, I think like it really does go back to perspective, because so in Buddhism, it's like in the Buddhism philosophy is that we are all born suffering.
To
and
be
then
human is to suffer.
To be human is to suffer. And so like, actually, I was having this conversation maybe like 2 years ago with my cousin's girlfriend who came and visited. So she's not Buddhist, and me and my cousin grew up with like the Buddhist foundations, right? And principles. So he doesn't do a good job explaining like, you know, the values and what we believe in. And she's like, so Ron, who is my cousin, is like, Ron always just tells us that like we should suffer. And I'm like, oh my God, this guy. Like female and male communication at its worst. And I was like, okay, girl, I got you. But I was just saying like, you know, if you think about it, it's not suffering in a sense that like, you know, gun to the head or like self-inflicted pain, that kind of intense suffering. But like, you know how we wake up every day and it's a struggle. Like maybe we like the food we eat one day and then it's terrible the next. Or like things don't go our way at work and we get misunderstood. Like literally every step in the day is some sort of minute suffering that kind of causes us to feel something. And then it's kind of like in those moments, I guess we don't realize it's suffering because that's just life. Like we take it as it is. Yeah. But then like with Buddhism, you're kind of at every step of the way, you're trying to understand and see it for what it is so that you can then extract yourself and then change your frame of mind to think like, this is like, is it something that I can change? Was it something that I did? And if it is, what can I kind of adjust? And then practicing empathy to understand it from the other person's perspective, if it involves someone else, to be like, they are also suffering too in a different way in the same situation. Yeah. So it's like, yeah, just having that discussion with her made me like remind myself how much we just take as is in this world, and maybe for granted. Yeah. So anyway, that was a long story short.
Long answer to your guys' question.
Did we even answer? Yes. So actually, short version is like maybe just like frame of mind when you're not doing that well. You know, gratitude journal. Yeah. Gratitude is all about kind of framework as well. It's like you write down things that you're grateful for to kind of remind yourself of how much you actually have in a bad situation. Yeah. So it's just one way of training your mind. Same thing.
Same.
Okay, back to skincare.
So AAU has been asking this for a while. Any product to help with under eye milia? I actually found that if you have eye cream that has retinol in there, it actually helps a lot.
Oh my God, yeah.
Like overnight, it'll just shrink in size by half.
Yes.
So one that I don't know if it's still here. Oh, it's still here. It's just a lot smaller. I have one right here.
Oh yeah.
But you can barely see it. You can barely see it now, but it was pretty big. It was big to the point where like I can touch it. Mm-hmm. And I used the Bare Minerals. I think they have like a Phyto Retinol Eye Cream. Mm-hmm. That I just remember when I was like, yeah, I think retinol can help with milia. So I used it and like woke up, it was half the size.
Guys,
I haven't used it since. It was just one night.
I think, yes, that's exactly how you deal with milia. So now you can find Peach and Lily has a retinol eye cream. Versed has a new eye balm with retinol. First Aid Beauty also has a retinol eye cream. So these are some that you can check out, all at kind of different price points that are super effective.
Have you ever used an eye cream that was so good you put on the rest of your face? That was another question.
Wow. No, because normally eye creams that I like are a little expensive and they come in little jars and I just wouldn't put it on the rest of my face. And I'm specifically thinking about the black tea from Fresh, which is my favorite.
That serum is lit.
Yeah.
Liana asked, do y'all use coconut oil and does it work for you?
Ooh, Ro loves coconut oil for her dry skin.
I used to. I don't use it as much anymore, but I would say in general, it's probably best not to put coconut oil directly on your skin.
Not the cooking kind.
Yeah, not the cooking kind, but there is what is the pad called? What brand is it called? That Nam used. If it's formulated in skincare, then it's good. Is good
because Kopari has
coconut. There's a specific coconut oil cleansing oil pad that Fel tried. I absolutely love.
It's Solved Skincare.
Oh, yes, Solved.
It's this one here.
Skincare.
So yeah, when we were doing the Eric Nam video, he introduced us to this brand, and we've actually been talking to them because they don't have many like Can I zoom on this?
Distribution.
Yes, they don't have much presence in the US, but this coconut oil cleansing pad is so bomb. I love using it. You kind of it's doused in coconut oil and some other stuff, but it's really lightweight, so smooth. It smells divine, and I normally hate coconut smelling things. You put it all over, and then you get rid of the pad, and then you work it into the skin, and that's when it dissolves all the waterproof makeup and all that stuff, and then you wash it off.
Someone asked about your kombucha essence from Fresh.
Oh, still going
Second Blossom. Second what Blossom said. Yes, the kombucha essence is amazing.
Yes.
And has so many anti-aging
Oh my God.
benefits.
When my sister came, I gave my mom like 2 bottles of that because she loves it so much, and it's really expensive in Australia. There was another question, I forgot from who, but they were asking, what are your favorite vitamin C products for 2022?
Wait, really quickly back onto the coconut oil. So before we move on, so coconut that's formulated in a product won't cause acne. I mean, it's not guaranteed that it's not going to cause acne, but coconut oil formulated in skincare is made for your skin versus coconut oil for cooking is made for cooking.
Yes.
Favorite vitamin C?
Oh, so the vitamin C, we both use Medicube's Vita C Ampule.
Oh God,
really
I'm using it again.
Yeah.
Restocked.
Another one that I really like is the Allies of Skin. It's in the black bottle. It's got like 22% of something of L-ascorbic acid and all these other really great ingredients. I love Allies of Skin, by the way. Highly recommend you check them out. They have like a few different vitamin C ones. There's a thicker one in the orange bottle. That's the serum. That one's too thick for me. And then the black bottle I'm currently using. Oh, and the peach and lily vitamin C. They use a derivative, but it's very good for sensitive skin.
The oil.
Yes.
From Blossom, products to calm the skin after chemical exfoliants. Glow recipes.
Glow Recipe. Yeah, like
Glow
these
recipes, avocado. Their new avocado ceramide.
Oh, that's so good.
Yeah,
the green
anything
one.
With Centella asiatica, Cica, anything with mugwort, any soothing ingredients.
Yep.
If you guys need videos, we have videos on soothing ingredients.
Yes.
Is makeup bad for your skin?
This reminds me of like the conversations I used to have with my dad all the time growing up. He's like,
makeup is bad for your skin.
Yes.
Do not wear it.
He
was just trying to trick you.
Hypocritical. It's like, what are you doing? Wearing all this makeup, it's blocking your pores, it's aging you prematurely, like blah, 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 because I had acne too. And then when I didn't wear it, he'd be like, look at your skin, you're not taking care of it, blah, blah, blah. So I was like, what do you want? But is makeup bad for your skin? I don't think so. It really just depends on how you protect it, how you wash it off at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Key, washing off, and then skincare after. So it really doesn't, I don't think that like you have to think too far as in like it's seeping into your pores and clogging them and all this, because if you're doing the right stuff after and caring for it with your skincare routine, then it's fine.
Yeah.
And now like most makeup is skincare.
It is. Yeah.
You know?
I think, it's definitely moving in that direction too.
Yeah. Just don't pack it on.
I like thinking in the perspective that the less things on your face, the better. I think just as like a rule of thumb. But do I think it's bad? I don't think it's bad. It's just, as Val said, cleaning properly after and prepping your skin before. Can you give some good sunscreen? And also sunscreen for sensitive skin.
Oh.
Yeah. From Melissa, and I think Cynthia's been asking for a bit.
Well, if you have sensitive skin, then probably stay away from the chemical sunscreens. That might be a little more irritating because of the chemical filters. So stick to the physical. Is that the other one? Yes.
I love HQ.
Bye, love HQ.
Just leaving.
So some of my favorites are the Paula's Choice Youth Extending Fluid SPF 30 sunscreen, and then the Innisfree also has a really great sunscreen that doesn't create a cast. Both of these don't give cast or anything, but yes.
And then my favorite sunscreen as of late is the Supergoop. It's always Supergoop. Yeah. They also have a new, they've had a stick version, but I just recently tried the stick version. It's very similar to the Unseen sunscreen, which I love.
There's also the Biore UV one that is always on like top of people's lists.
Yeah.
the Japanese one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Blossom, what's your favorite Korean cushion / BB creams? Funny story, all the cushions I've tried just either make me look dead or make me look like I just don't look like myself.
Interesting.
I don't think I've found I don't think I never tried to find my shade. But
Yeah.
it
Oh my
just- I've
God.
never really-
Let's find you a shade because honestly, cushion like amazing. I think the first one or one of the first ones I used was the Laneige one. Dun, dun, dun. I just love how easy it is and it
Yeah.
creates like a flawless dewy canvas. Some of them are
Dewy.
more matte now, which is great. And they have more colors. Back in the day when I first started using them, there was like 2 shades and you're either a ghost or you're like tanned. So we've come a long way.
I've used glycolic cleansing peel too many times this week and now my face is all scaly. Any
Oh, God.
recommendations on how to heal? It's so sore, but it's not red surprisingly.
Oh no. Okay. Load up on Mugwort. Mugwort will be your saving grace or Centella asiatica, but honestly, I feel like Mugwort is way more effective at healing irritation, redness, and all this. So one of the best sellers on our website is actually the Mugwort Mask from I'm From. They also have a Mugwort Essence, which is 100% Mugwort. There's also Isn't-Tree Mugwort. And if you're into Dr. Jart, they have a whole Cica line. I don't know. My tip would be to up your hydration, your toner essence, and then trap that with a really nourishing moisturizer that maybe has like some oat, some ceramides. You really want to build your skin barrier up.
The skin barrier.
Yes, ceramides. Go for like CeraVe, Aveeno, all that stuff.
Question about vitamin C. Kindly correct me either above 20% ascorbic acid is actually safe for your skin or not. As much as I have read above 20% is not safe, it'll harm your skin.
I mean,
there's formulations with 30%, but then a lot of times it's not 30% pure ascorbic acid. It's formulated with a bunch of different vitamin C derivatives, but they just bump up the number.
Yeah. And then look at all the other ingredients that are supporting the vitamin C. But our philosophy is just because it's a high number doesn't mean it's super effective.
Yeah.
So the studies, like for example, niacinamide, we all love niacinamide. The studies on how effective it is that we all, love to consume is actually between 2 and 5%. So that's actually all you need for niacinamide to do its job. So vitamin C, once again, depending on the derivative, it can be like higher because a derivative is not as unstable, but it's also not as potent. So it's, you're weighing it up and down.
Should I do my skincare morning and night?
Yes.
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 Yes. You don't need to do a full routine as in like, I don't need to fully cleanse in the morning.
Yeah.
But,
you can just use like cleansing water.
Yeah.
Ding. Sometimes if I'm at home all day and I'm just like greasy after the day, even at night, I'll just do a cleansing water. But normally the nighttime routine is a little bit more, it's like amped up a little bit.
Yeah. So Melissa asks, what's the difference between Haru toner and the Purito Centella toner?
And
they're very different, Purito, the Centella.
Oh.
I think they have similar texture, but then the Haru, the key ingredient is the black rice.
Yes, the fermented black rice. And the technology of the ultra deep technology, which helps to penetrate. So I just found that, so both of them can also help with obviously hydration, but in terms of hyperpigmentation, if you have a little bit of discoloration or unevenness, the Purito is great at calming the skin because of the Cica and hydrating and plumping. Whereas the Haru, why I like it, is just doing a little bit more for my vibrancy. Yes, because of that fermentation. I think maybe the skin is able to absorb a little bit more, but they're both beautiful. So if it's sensitive skin you have, maybe Purito. If it's brightening and evening and all that, Haru.
Since moving to New York City, my face has become so sensitive. Even my tears irritate my skin.
Oh my God.
Why are you crying,
so
girl?
much salt.
What should I do?
It's true. This winter has been
brutal. Dry and it's so
oh my God.
It's so dry outside and it's so dry inside because of the heaters.
Yes. Oh my God. I have this little monitor thing that I put in my kitchen that tracks the humidity. Normally it should be between like 20 and 30%. In my room, it's like 15.
Oh my.
So it's like,
Can't breathe. Yeah. That's actually the hardest thing for winters for me in New York.
Yeah.
Is that I can't breathe sometimes. So I remember the first time I came here one night, I was like,
you wake up like coughing.
yeah, because like it's so dry that you can't breathe.
So what should you
how
do?
do you help with that?
Get a humidifier.
Definitely get a humidifier. I think will help a lot.
Yes.
And then invest in skincare that is good for your skin barrier. Because I feel like if your skin is that irritated, it might be like a combination of many things. That it's dry with the mask, with many different the environment, the elements. So rebuilding the skin barrier, as we mentioned earlier, anything with ceramides, anything with so many things are good for your skin. Yeah, we have many videos on how to rebuild your skin barrier, so definitely check that out.
Yeah. Use a very gentle cleanser as well.
Gentle cleanser. Don't chemical exfoliate too much. Don't dial back on the actives. Heal your skin first. Use your humidifier, and then it should slowly start coming back.
Yes. Just hydration. Don't do anything too crazy.
What?
So Bertos says, I've tried the CeraVe moisturizer because it has ceramides in it, but I didn't feel that moisturizing. So with any skincare, you can actually find different consistencies within the same line. So whatever brand you're into, the drugstores, especially CeraVe, have different moisturizers. Same with La Roche-Posay. There's like a gel, there's a balm, there's a cream, there's a lotion. So you just have to like kind of find the right texture for you. And if you can't find it within that brand, then you can try a different one.
Nisreen asked, I would like to know, are the serums that have 10% niacinamide too strong for the skin? So as Fel just mentioned a bit earlier, 2 to 5% is like the sweet spot for niacinamide, but Paula's Choice did formulate a 20%. Do you need a 20%? I don't think so.
That's a treatment too.
Yeah.
10% I don't think is too much. Wait, does Ordinary have 10% niacinamide? I think it might be, it was 2 something, and was it zinc and niacinamide? Anyway, so is it too much for your skin? I think once again.
Oh, it is 10% and zinc 1%.
Okay, yeah, there you go.
10%.
So it's like up to you. Some people break out and get irritated at 2% niacinamide, which is rare to happen because niacinamide is actually a skin barrier friendly ingredient. It's not overly acidic. It's not too, like unstable. But some people just can't like deal with it, right? So then it's kind of up to you. You have to just read your skin. If it's flaky, if it's not doing the things that it claims to do, then maybe it's a little bit too high. If it still happens at 5%, 2%, maybe you know that niacinamide is not for you, and that's fine. You can try something like tranexamic acid, or azelaic acid. Both they are like hand in hand, being able to do what niacinamide can do with very little irritation whatsoever.
We're getting towards the end of our live, so this will probably be our last question. Vanessa said, as soon as I started using Mandelic acid, I saw improvements on my skin texture and oiliness.
Yay!
Wondering what next product I can use for oily skin. Already use niacinamide, vitamin C, azelaic acid, 2% BHA. I think you have plenty.
That's good.
Like a steady rotation of all of them, I think will.
Yes. And Mandelic acid for all you oily skin people is like very great because it helps to control
you oily people.
Control the oil, control the sebum. And if you really want to try, I wouldn't say you have to use it at all if you don't need to. It's already working great. But if you have oily skin and acne, then maybe a little bit of retinol can help reduce pore size and all that stuff. All right, guys. All right, so that's all we have time for today. Hope you enjoyed this live. Maybe we'll do it again next Wednesday. Who knows? Or we might have a normal video. But either way, please join our inner circle, which is where the Beauty Within community, like talks about everything to do with life.
We baked cookies last week.
Yes, for Valentine's. We do fun things. I'm going to actually do an oily skinned workshop, oily acne prone skin workshop, and just discuss with all of you guys there and have you guys share, you know, your questions. So there's like fun stuff that we don't get to do on YouTube, and all of that is on our own kind of like private community. It's a safe space to kind of share everything you want to talk about. Book clubs, movie clubs, whatever it is. So all of that will be in the details as we sign off, because we need to update the description.
And we have a newsletter you guys want to sign up for.
It's a free newsletter that you get a magazine every month. So we have all this stuff, you guys. Just like take it all.
Shop. You guys can shop for skincare.
Take it all.
Gonna be linked down below.
It's all for you guys.
Yes. Really, it's all for you guys.
Jack says how to join the Beauty Within community. So it's actually on Vibely. We'll leave all the links below.
We just left a pinned comment. Our team just left a pinned comment.
Oh, yes. So there it is. And yeah, you just get to do fun stuff with us and everyone else, even if we're not there. There's a bunch of ambassadors that you can get to meet. Everyone feels safe and supports each other and encourages each other. And we currently have a 30-day skincare challenge where you pick one ingredient and you use it for the whole month, and everyone takes progress pictures every week. So say for vitamin C, if you don't know if it really works, we challenge you guys to do it with us, and you see everyone else's progress as well. So that's kind of what
And a huge shout out to JD. She just, he, I can't tell. Love this chat. Hope I helped too, which I love doing. You've been massively helpful. Thank you, JD. And thank you everyone for tuning in. We'll see you next week.
Bye. Bye. Okay, great.